So this is Sumair, the music mogul, the caffeine global, the comic man, the astronomic man, and this is the Mad Mouth Show. So today we're going to do the match preview for Newcastle versus Chelsea, and Chelsea is going to go to St James's Park. Well, we all know how good Newcastle is. They've been really performing at the top level throughout the season. But we are Chelsea, and Chelsea has to go and give them a masterclass that they have been doing against all the top teams of the Premier League. Finally, the international break is over and we are back to the Premier League. For me, last weekend was quite sad as my country played for the World Cup and we reached the finals, but unfortunately we lost. And I'm quite gutted about that. So yeah, that's last weekend. But now we're back to the Premier League and it's going to be exciting as Chelsea is in good form and we have to go and do what we do. Now let's talk about Newcastle United. The atmosphere at St James's Park is fucking amazing. All the fans over there, we know how they support their club. They are always backing their club, whether they're playing against a top team or a low team. They're always there for their players. In fact, even before the takeover of the club, their fans have always backed them. So the atmosphere is going to be really amazing and it's going to be quite intimidating for the players. But now that we've got some experience and some confidence in our playing, Chelsea is going to go and do a good job. Now let's talk about the Newcastle players. They are fucking physical. They are massive and they know how to dominate possession and physically take over teams. They're also very good in their set pieces. That is something Chelsea really lacks and we need to build on that. So we really have to take care about all these things during the game. Now, defensively, they're going to really do a good job and Chelsea really needs to step up a notch. Eddie Howe has really done a good job with Newcastle. Since the new owners have taken over, he has been supported by them and he is doing his best and he has really come a long way. This year, Newcastle in the Champions League were fucking amazing. The way they destroyed PSG was really amazing to watch. Yeah, the last two games against Dortmund, they lost, but that's due to a lot of injuries. But otherwise, they've really been playing well and we really need to look out for them. For Chelsea, this is probably the best time to play Newcastle as they've got around 12 to 15 injuries. You know, I usually don't want any teams to have any injuries, but this is the sport. This is a physical sport and it is a contact sport and injuries always happen. So this is bound to happen and we have to accept it and move forward. In fact, let's talk about how many injuries Chelsea have had and how we struggled. But now they're coming back and we're going to come back strong. In fact, this Newcastle's main defenders, Botman and Dan Burn, are injured. And this has been a real big blow to them because they were really controlling the games in the defense and they were outplaying a lot of teams. And this is where Chelsea has to capitalize. So Newcastle also don't have one of their main players and that's Tonali. He was a very key player for them, but now he is suspended for a few months. So Chelsea should be happy he's not playing against us. Also, our Chelsea boy, Lewis Hall, cannot play against us because he's on loan to them. So when a player goes on loan, Chelsea has put it in the contract that he cannot play against us. So we are quite fortunate that way. But they've got Bruno Guimaraes, who is going to be in the midfield, but he's also going to be coming back from international duties. So he might not be that fit. But also our players are coming back from international duties. So they are also not going to be match fit. But this is going to be an exciting game. Now let's get to what Poch has to do. Poch, you have to step it up a notch and win this game. I'm sick of those draws and losses. I want some wins now. We need to win this game anyhow. And by the form that we are in, there is no reason for us not to win this. So Poch has to give it a nice masterclass and let's see what he's going to do. One more thing about Newcastle is that, you know, we all thought that they're going to get a lot of money because they've got the richest owners in the world, but they haven't blown up as much as money, keeping in mind all the FFP rules. That has been quite a surprise for me. So Chelsea, come on, let's see what you're going to do and let's see how you go and batter Newcastle in their own house. So now let's move on to the lineups. But before that, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications that you need. So we are definitely going to do the usual 4-3-3, and behind as the goalkeeper has to be Sanchez. He's been really good and he keeps his spot. I feel if Sanchez gets better at his ball playing, he's going to provide a lot to Chelsea. And he will get there. Sooner or later, he will get there. Now let's move to the defense. In the defense, we have to go with Thiago and Disasi. Thiago is the evergreen Thiago. He is going to keep his spot. About Disasi, I'm not sure because he came back with a slight injury. So let's see what's going to happen. But if he's fit, I would totally start him. And as my right back, we're going to go with Reece James, our captain. He keeps his spot, he is fit to play, and he is going to be very important for Chelsea. We know what Reece James can do defensively, and as well as going forward, he is a real threat. So Reece is going to keep his spot. Now we're all wondering who's going to be as the left back because anytime Cucurella can fuck up. But he hasn't done so in so many games, so I feel Cucurella is going to be my left back. Now let's move on to the midfield three. The midfield three speak for themselves. Caicedo, Gallagher and Enzo. They are going to keep their spots. Recently I was seeing the stats and Gallagher is almost up there with Declan Rice. Isn't that astonishing? Who would have even thought that Gallagher is going to perform so well? But if you go and see the stats, he is up there with Declan Rice. And how much did Arsenal buy Declan Rice for? 100 million. And Gallagher, he is our homeboy. So we should really be grateful for what he has been doing for us. He is really performing very well. Enzo and Caicedo are going to come back from the international duties, so they might not be that fit. But I'm sure they'll pull this off. I want to see a little more from Enzo. In fact, I want him to score goals. Enzo really has that in his locker. He can score goals. But why isn't he doing that for Chelsea? We need to see more from him. Now let's move on to the top three. Well, Jackson, Sterling and Palmer. These three have to keep their spot. They are probably the second best offensive players right now. You will be surprised at how many goals they've scored together. With Cole Palmer, also known as Cold Palmer these days, we are definitely going to win. And Nicholas Jackson has really been impressing me. And you never know, if by the end of this year, if Jackson is playing and giving us all the goals, then I don't think we need to go in for a striker in Jan. We can probably buy Sumair in the summer and that's good too. And Sterling, he is the man in form and he has to prove Southgate what a blunder Southgate has done. It's really shocking that Sterling is still not called up for the England call-ups, but it's okay. They probably have some battle against each other and it's good. And this is a good way for Sterling to prove Southgate what he can offer to the club. So this is going to be the lineup for the game. Before we sign off, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And please don't forget to press the bell icon. Adios guys.